In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Multiple Listing Service, also known as the MLS. What is it, how does it work, and why do we even need it? Especially if sites like Zillow make it easy to find houses yourself online. Let's get into it. The MLS dates back in the US over 100 years. It's a service provided by the National Association of Realtors to its members to help conduct real estate transactions. It serves two essential purposes. First, it collects and shares reliable listing information. Second, it encourages cooperation between brokers to sell real estate. In the early days, realtors would conduct real estate exchanges. Agents would gather in a single location to share information about properties and do deals on behalf of their clients. From there, the MLS began to take shape. Realtors began compiling listings in books where brokers and agents could search for properties that met their clients' needs. Now, the MLS exists online with hundreds of local databases around the country. Each one maintains accurate information from all the local properties listed for sale, both past and present. That's the first essential function of multiple listing services. They collect and share information for the millions of properties listed each year by realtors. They also have systems in place to make sure that the information collected is reliable and accurate. People spend large sums of money to buy a home after only seeing it a few times. Much of what they know about a home comes from the information published in a seller's listing. That's why it's important to have a regulatory body in place that can maintain standards of accuracy and enforce them. Realtor associations and the MLS provide that. The second major function of the MLS is to encourage cooperation. To do so, each MLS enforces similar policies around conduct and compensation. Before the standards of cooperation enforced by the MLS, real estate sales operated much differently. There was little incentive for real estate agents to work with each other to sell properties. This caused a couple of obstacles. One, sellers reached much smaller markets. Since agents weren't incentivized to work together, a seller's market was limited by their single agent's network. Sellers missed out on much of the free market competition that could help their property's value increase. Two, buyers got poorer representation. If buyers wanted professional representation, they would have to pay for it out of pocket, which raised the barrier of entry to purchasing a property. If buyers couldn't or didn't want to pay out of pocket, they would have to represent themselves, which was difficult and risky. The result was a much less efficient marketplace. It was harder to sell properties, harder to buy properties, and easier for people with selfish intent to take advantage of others. Scams and fraud were also more common before the current system. With the MLS, all brokers who list a property for sale must provide clear compensation for any other broker who cooperates in the sale of a property. Usually, that would be a buyer's broker. This gives buyers access to motivated and professional representation. It's also valuable to sellers. Instead of reaching the network of a single agent, they now reach a small army of motivated agents, each one working to connect buyers with a property. The MLS also enforces standards of conduct on how agents can market and sell properties. These help promote a fair marketplace for real estate. So what's the role of sites like Zillow or Redfin that list much of the same information? Why can't they replace the MLS and agents altogether? These sites are incredible tools that have helped real estate by allowing consumers better access to listings. They have reshaped the way that people buy houses and make it easier to shop for a home. But they haven't yet replaced either of the essential functions of the MLS. It's still important to have a professional body gather the information and check it for accuracy and reliability, which is why most of the information on the sites comes from the MLS. They do make it possible for sellers to reach a larger audience without an agent. Buyers can also easily find and make offers on a home on their own if they choose. But without the standards of cooperation put in place by the MLS, the same obstacles from before come back up. Sellers have a harder time selling their home and buyers take on more risk. Maybe this will change one day, but so far, the data seems to support it. Homes sold outside the MLS take longer to sell and sell for lower prices, indicating a much less efficient marketplace. Now, we've covered what the MLS is, how it works, and why it's important. I hope it's been valuable and makes it easy for you to decide the best way to buy or sell your next home. See you next time.